I don't see nothing over here.
I don't see the banner.
I don't see where comments.
I don't see the banner. Well, the banner's on the
The
comments.
banner is on there. I'm just on the comments. Maybe they'll come in later. Have we hit go live yet?
Mhm.
Okay, so we live?
Mhm.
All right. Cutting wheel, we are live. Come on in. This is Chief. I see Ace, you really sticking in there with me. Finding out feathers. I love y'all. Y'all will never know when Chief coming on, but y'all sure make it to the stage. We cooking a little bit tonight. You know, come on in. And me and Penny's gonna come on here. Penny's gonna be cooking with me tonight. We back on that topic on whitewashing and genocide and eugenics. You never know when Chief coming on. Chief doing 90 million things, but when I get a chance, I'm gonna come on. I love y'all too. How can I not love y'all? I can come on this time of night in Louisiana and y'all come on. Look at y'all. That's why I did it, because I love y'all. But today was a busy day, but I promised I was going to come on the first of Phoenix, and here I am. Come on in. I'm going to give y'all a little chance. I'm going to play the music a little soft. Hey, y'all, we doing it. We done took this in 5 months. And maybe to some people it's not a lot, but to Chief and to what we're doing is a lot. We didn't build this channel up to 7,890 subscribers. Thank y'all very much. We moved into our 5th month. And look at where our numbers is. And you know what I love? I read as many of y'all comments as I can. And I see a lot of y'all understand what I'm trying to do and what I'm saying. I'm trying to give us a place to be taken serious. I brought my guests on that I've been bringing on. So y'all know that I'm a very serious person and I deal with serious people. I'm not here to try to take you to outer space, to the moon. I'm not here to take you to Africa. I'm here to take you to the truth. And yes, I love cooking soul food. Someone said in a comment, and I don't know which one of y'all it is, but I'm gonna go back and see. They say good meat, good bread, good meat, good God. Okay? I agree with you on that. I've been trying to be the most transparent leader. Ishmael, I see you out there and I love you. I want y'all to know something. We are creating the most powerful network out there. As this month come in and a lot of the things I've been working on, like today, I can't tell you how many meetings I've been in today. But one thing I can tell y'all, this show is making an impact not only on St. Tammany, but around the country. Yes, I agree with you finding out feathers. Y'all hit that like button. Remember I told y'all we're gonna send a message. Well, a lot of people is watching what we are doing. And they even reading your comments. This is a serious show about serious matters. I'm not here trying to recruit membership for a tribe. That's why this show is not called Shafunk Nation or Shatta Tribe. And I've been very transparent to show you what I've been doing over the years. I didn't have to do it, but I did it. Because I see so many people out there with this con game leadership. Can't show you nothing they've done for their community. Some of them can't show you nothing they've done for their household. Phoenix and I was talking about, you got more deadbeat daddies out there trying to tell you how to organize. You know, man, that's sad. You got people that have not been committed to their own family. I mean family, their wives, their children. You got women too, can't leave the sisters out there, haven't been committed to their own families. They just trying to create a way to make a dollar. I don't get sister wrong. I know y'all need money. But when we have to turn and connive each other to get a dollar, we need to stop. Because if we bring the real issues out, we're going to educate the younger generation. We're going to have leaders that respect what we're doing. And they're going to come sit here on this stage and tell you what I'm about, what they're about. And I think I brought some pretty heavyweights for this parish. Being that St. Tammany in West Florida is the key of the history of not only the I told you the civil rights came from the lower delta, from the West Florida region. But you got to realize the corruption came from there too. A lot of corruption. I'm gonna be talking while y'all coming in because when I get to the real meat of this here dinner, I want to see that we didn't got enough of you all in here, and I'm not looking for no 100, 200. We know somebody gonna come back and they're gonna come eat because when we leave, we always leave enough for other people to eat. We don't just hog it all up. So that's what's so important about being able to record it. You can eat it as you wake up, or you can eat it as you come home, or before you leave, or while you're driving. Take it for a snack. This is the most powerful way for us to reach people. We talked about whitewashing. Okay, I see Phoenix is coming on in. Let her in for me. There she is. Welcome, Phoenix. You my sister, and we got a lot of work to do. But there's Sister Phoenix. I was telling them how powerful this channel is becoming. And it's becoming powerful because we're not on here fighting each other. We're not using this for a battle room. We're using this here to dish up good dishes. And when I'm talking about love and peace, the enemy don't want to hear that. And what I love about this channel, y'all don't mind showing them love and you don't mind showing that fire. And if y'all think I'm right, I want to see some fire and love. I'm going to tell you, I'm spoiled, okay? My family spoiled me. And they'll tell you that around here. And now y'all have spoiled me. So yeah, I want to see some love. And I want y'all to send Sister Phoenix some love because she joined us in here tonight. So we give y'all a chance to send Sister Phoenix some love too. What we're going to be cooking tonight, Ishmael, is a dish called Where Do We Stand at This Time? That's the topic of this one. Where do we stand? Now, what am I talking about? Where do we stand? Well, I am, and y'all gonna hear me call on Ishmael for a while because he's one of our powerful men out there. And I'm married to a powerful man, and I have a lot of powerful men around me. I got two in the room with me right now. And a powerful, strong man is proud to be who he is. And we women have to talk sometime before the men can stand up with us. And that's something bothering. That's why I'm 63 without high blood pressure and diabetes. I don't hold my tongue. Now, I want to talk about a serious issue tonight. And if y'all ready, Ishmael, we're going to be going down that road on some of the stuff you were talking about on the show the other night when I brought up a topic. You in Phoenix, and I want to go back to that. And the thing is, where are we now as women in America? Women of color, where are we? White women, where are we? There was a civil rights movement, it got hijacked. It opened the doors for everyone except but the Negro people that it was being fought for. Hijacked. Maybe that's what we need to call this segment. Where are we? Hijacked. Okay? Let me see y'all put hijacked on there. And I'm going to tell you how you've been hijacked. One thing you was hijacked on in the earlier time was your identity. Hijacked. Someone else could take because white men controlled America. They controlled the laws and the standards. So the white man had the power of the pen. Through the power of the pen, he set the laws. The laws was not set in favor for everybody. It was set in favor for those who wanted to be in power. Hijacked. What do I mean hijack? Okay, hijack is like a person stick you up and hijack you for your car. Okay, that kind of hijack. We've been hijacked and not of a car. We've been hijacked of our culture. We've been hijacked of our inheritance. We've been hijacked of our identity. And as a woman of color, now we're fixing to be hijacked of my gender. Ooh, nobody want to talk about that. Why we can't talk about it? Because the majority of people that run America is the white male. White male write the law and we supposed to follow the law. So he's the man who's holding us up. Hijack. You know, a lot of leaders don't want to come talk about this topic when we fixing to go. Y'all ready to ride? If you're ready to ride on this topic, yep, I got my Coca-Cola. Too bad I can't have my other part that go with it. But here we go. I need that Coke for what we fixing to talk about. Phoenix, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can. How are you, Chief?
I'm fine. Y'all can hear Phoenix? She's here. Phoenix, I'm talking about how we've been hijacked. No matter how much of the research you go through, you keep seeing we get hijacked. And we never stop to see who's doing this. We just blaming each other. What I want to talk about is how the white men have been controlling America from day one, setting the standard. All races have to follow what they said. Women didn't even have a right. The only person that had a right in America from the beginning of the founding of America was white men. Is that all white men? No. Because I have friends that's white men and they agree with what I'm saying right now because I've talked to some of them. Who need to get themselves together is the white men who's never satisfied. They want everything. Everything. The same thing they did with this land to strip it. Now we got a new generation of white men stripping. What are they stripping us of? They're taking our culture. They wrote laws where they can self-identify. They can self-identify for my culture. Now they can self-identify for my sex, my gender. And you know, a lot of people don't want to speak out on this, but you know, there's a lot of people who agree with what I'm saying. And I'm trying to make it comfortable. If you feel comfortable, you got a right to say that because we do have freedom of speech in America. No matter what law they wrote, as a civil rights leader, I always stood on freedom of speech. And when it come down to what's right by God and what's right by man, I'm going to stand with God. Because white men have been taking a lot from us, the land, the trees, our race, our rights. That's why it's important to register to vote, not as a Democrat or a Republican, but to have a voice so we can let them know we see what you're doing and we're willing to take you out by casting our vote. Election time is coming near. This is the time for us to be heard. Do y'all believe that our identity and sex have been hijacked? Let me hear you. I see I ain't gonna say hot pepper. She couldn't even put the pepper on there. All she could do is type hot pepper. That's how hot this topic is. She decided to touch on it because nobody don't want to touch. And I'm the kind of leader that like to touch that which somebody else don't want to put in the pot. You know, a live crab will tear you up. What I'm talking about, Phoenix, we heard about they stole our Indian identity, and people keep asking people like me and you and Ishmael how it happened. Well, let me tell you how it happened. When they was taking the Indians' identity, nobody said nothing. Everybody stayed quiet. There were no internet. We had to depend on the media that was not going to cover the truth. Why? Because white rich men controlled the media. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Are y'all with me out there? Y'all not asleep, huh? I feel I told y'all I don't like to be an endangered species. The more I'm watching the news, the more I'm feeling like I'm an endangered species. And if you're not feeling like that, all of us need to stop hollering what happened with the Indian in America. Because if we don't say something, we all fixing to be guilty of another situation that your grandchildren gonna want to know. What did we do? What did we say, Cousin Will, when this was happening? Because we can say something now. We don't have to look back to the past and wonder what happened. The law was passed, and some presidents and some congressmen said that's the law, and everybody just took it. And before you know it, the same people, their people, became the American Indians. United States set the standard and say to be an Indian, you gotta go through the hoops, Phoenix, and become federally recognized. That was their standard. We didn't vote for that. That's what happened. Like right now, the average woman have fought to maintain a job and try to get equal pay. Women have to fight hard to even go into the military, into a decent position, and get equal pay. Women have to fight for a position in the media with the proper respect and get equal pay. There was a women's movement. And you cannot see what white men of America have done. What they did. They passed a law. They put mandates. And people won't say nothing because they don't want to lose nothing. Well, I don't have nothing to lose. So, you know what? Let me tell it to you. Let me say it for you all. Because if you can't say it, you can get out there and vote and find people that will listen and side with you. As a woman of color, first of all, a woman of color, and being an Indian, and we gotta fight, I gotta fight for all three of those things to protect it. I gotta ask a white man, can I be a woman? And what kind of woman I am? And we let them pass those laws, the presidents and Congress. And we have not written letters, petitions, or nothing. When a man become the best man or whatever award for America as a woman, that tell the rest of us as a woman, we ain't nothing. Because a man can leave from being a man and win the top woman award and never had a baby, never had a cycle. And we're gonna sit here in America today in 2023, and the preachers in the churches ain't saying nothing. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I done touched on the road I wanna go down. Do you want me to walk you down it? Send me some love. I'm waiting. I'm not gonna put nothing on you that you don't wanna hear. Are y'all ready to hear it? Let me know if you wanna hear this. And do you understand what I'm talking about? I see some of the women out there feel like I feel. The men cannot stand with us women if we don't stand for ourselves. This is another woman's movement. I'm a civil rights leader, don't forget. I didn't just become on in the battle because of the internet. I've been battling before the internet. Come on now, we gotta get controversy to get something fixed. Come on, let's shake it up. This ain't no shake and bake we cooking with over here. This down home grandma fried chicken, potato salad, and the peas and the works with it. Come on now. We talking Sunday dinner here. We're gonna sit back and let them take our agenda after they done took our race. And then a white man can also self-identify, and a white woman can self-identify as a person of color. Do y'all see the man that was the elected official who said, I am of color. I am Indian. I am a woman. And then he turned around and said, I am a lesbian. With a wife and children. Now some people say he said it for a joke. No, he didn't. Even if he said it for a joke, he letting you know America is a joke right now. When a politician can sit there and self-identify for whatever. Come on now. We're going to let them play with our minds. You see, they up there battling and can't get the budget straight. If they can't get the budget straight for this country, how are they going to tell us who we are? Work on that budget. Y'all need to put on that thing. Work on that budget. I'm going to show you how to protest with this here page. Let's see some work on that budget. Balance the budget. Now, do Chief have anything against people who are of gay or lesbian or whatever? No. If that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. But I don't need the United States mandating me. I'm not who I am, and I cannot be who I am. And if somebody says something, they're going to get sued. So when they say sued, everybody shut up. Can you imagine what the senior citizens did and the old people back in the days when they said, if y'all say y'all are Indian, we're going to take your chickens, your hogs, and we ain't going to let you have nothing. So you all been wondering what happened to your old people. Now it's happening to you. And Chief is challenging you to stand up and let's do something about it. I remember y'all young kids right now, I'm getting about it. What y'all got about? Let's get about it if you want to. We need to call these politicians to the table, state to state, and ask them, where do we go as women? Or do we have to wait for them to legislate us that we got to be a woman? Like they legislate if we got to be an Indian, and the only thing they let in is Asians and whites and anybody but us. Come on now. I didn't come on here tonight to play. And I know you're looking at my face. I'm mad. I came in, my mama told me I was a baby girl weighing 14 pounds, 13 ounces and a half. Now I got to go ask the legislators, am I a girl? And they got female on there? Come on now. What we scared of? We should not be more afraid to tell the truth than we are allowing them to lie. Do y'all understand? Now, we need Washington to tell us who we are. Because this ruling got so stupid till a man can be everything. That politician did it on purpose. So he let you know, I can be a woman, I can be an Indian, I can be a lesbian. And then he said, I can turn back around and be the same thing I started out as. Meaning he can go back and be a man. But now on your jobs, you have to compete with a white man who say he's a woman, who was the only person couldn't be a minority in America. So now the white man has found the back door to be a minority, whatever he need to be, so he can get minority contracts, so he can take your job, so you can't feed your children, so you can't afford to get you a house. You better wake up. Do you see what's happening? Our old people didn't have this to see how they was taking the Indian names and giving it to the $5 Indians. But right now you have this internet, you have that television, you see what's happening. And if you don't say something, then you just as guilty. And then your children gonna be saying like you're saying. What happened to them back then? Why they didn't do nothing? Why they didn't say nothing? Come on now. And I'm gonna leave this recording out here so my grandkids can say, at least my grandmother spoke up. And at least she told everybody to stand up with her. I look on these pages, people got 100 and 200,000 people telling you about taking a spaceship or going to Africa, and you know you got to live here and pay your rent. You know you need a way to feed your family. And you over there as a grown person letting people talk stupid junk to you when real stuff happening, they sidetracking you. Hijacked. That stupid stuff going on over there. You got people out here, they come on this page all saying, want to tell me I talk too much. I bet you what? I bet you I get respect with my talk. I'm not on there talking from one person to another. Neither one don't have no power to make no changes. I bet you that. When I talk where power is. And I talk with power. You can't cook if you don't put a fire on the pot. That's called a cold pot. What you doing, opening up a can of soup? Come on, y'all. We got a bigger thing to worry about than they stole all the Indian areas. They finna take the women out. It's gonna be illegal for us to walk out there and say, I'm a woman, I'm female. I got men that work in government agencies and I'm getting tired of trying to say him, he, his, and all of this stuff. She, her, he. Hey, that's not, we ain't been talking like that. But that's what we get from letting this country. This is the only country people can come from all over the world and set their rules in this country. Isn't that something, y'all? But we can't leave this country and go to those countries and set no rules. What we is open for whoever want to take it the next time. You know we done been out of Spain, France, Britain, United States. Who coming next? All they got to do is stir up some kind of stupid junk and the whole system go that direction. Come on now, it's time for us to wake up. If someone, in all of our family, we have people that may be gays or lesbians or whatever. I want y'all to hear me. That's their business. That's not what I'm talking about. That's them got to deal with that, and that's their lifestyle. Okay. They should not be discriminated against because that's what they choose. But now we're being discriminated against. And we born like this. Come on, men. Are y'all with us women? Because we need y'all because we done fought men fights too. You know, we out there when they say about the police beating down the black man. Women is there. Now, right now, they coming after the black woman. Because the black woman is one of the most powerful things God ever created. Okay? I ain't ashamed to say that. What the average white woman learned in America, she learned it from an Indian woman of color. We taught them how to raise their babies. We taught them how to get medicine. We taught them how to cook. Come on now. Up until recently, white women didn't raise their children. They went found a black woman. Black woman could raise hers and the white woman's. Come on now. Cook for both houses. You get where I'm at, cutting with? White women have never went through what a black woman have went through. No, no, no. Women that was in slavery, I was told that they was being raped by the white man, and the white woman couldn't tell her husband to get off that black woman. Couldn't, because she didn't have no rights. So when we lose our civil rights, I'm here to give a warning. The white women finna lose their rights too because they gained their rights off of all of us fighting. I hate when you gotta talk about black and white to get the situation across. But white women forgot how they got their rights. They couldn't even get a job. They just would stay at home, do nothing. That might sound cool, but if it's my mom over there cooking your food, cleaning your house, and raising your children, what in the heck is you doing and ironing your clothes? This went on for a long time. And then there were the black women who were nannies, because the white woman wasn't getting her breasts out of shape. Go get that black woman across the track so she can come breastfeed the white woman's baby. And then we still don't have our respect and rights as women of color. Ida B. Wells was wanting to write because she understood the black woman didn't have a voice to let know the black community. I come on here to tell you something that the other leaders look like they scared to tell you. All right, women, what are you getting ready to be? Because they done legislate us out. We need a women's conference of all colors. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care if you're white. Because if you're white, whatever white you are, Irish, German, whatever. If you black of what they bring under black, I don't care if you're Indian, African, whatever. If you're a woman, you endangered right now. They finna put you in a pot. They trying to make us roadkill. You know them country boys. They be talking about them hillbilly boys talking about roadkill. Well, I don't want to be roadkill. You want to be roadkill? Do y'all like what I'm talking about? I know some people can't say it, so I'm breaking the ice for everybody. I'm gonna make it comfortable. Well, y'all can say, did you hear Chief Warhorse telling us how they fixing to erase the real women? Because the real women is becoming endangered species. Yeah. We're going to have to go ask the white man, can we say we a woman? Can we say we female? Our daughters are going to be confused because they're not going to be able to know if they're going to be a woman because they have legislated that they can pick and choose. Come on now. I don't understand if people want to do that. Don't put no law on me. Don't tell me I'm not a woman. Don't call me no, what's some of the names? Sis. So every last one of us born in this earth was born by a sis. Oops. Well, if the sis can have the baby, leave the sis alone. Come on, y'all. Talk to me about this topic now. What y'all say? It's a time to take a stand. It's a time for us to talk about it. They are saying, what is a woman? Well, the definition we used to have used to mean one thing. I don't know what the heck it means today. But if we keep letting the definition change, let me ask this. Well, what is an Indian or indigenous person? I can ask a question with a question now. What is an indigenous person? What are you fighting about your Indian rights for? Because the definition changed. It doesn't mean you. And the definition finna change on your gender. I just want to know what you're going to be. Then you still gonna have to write petitions and go to the legislature to get you a race and a gender. What y'all saying out there? And then another thing, why should I answer what is a woman? You should know what a woman is. Okay? I'm not talking about something some white men in Washington, D.C. can put a paper together and a bill and sign it. What was the definition you always knew? What is a man? We can play this what if game all day. This is the kind of nuts we got in Washington. Well, a cat don't have to be a cat because we can write legislation and a cat can be a dog if we all vote on it. They disagree on everything in Washington, including this budget, but they don't disagree on confusing us at the bottom. Have y'all paid attention to that? They come together on that jump across the parties. We gotta stop being fools. Trying to read a little bit over there. Yep, that's it, Phoenix. Cisgender. Come on, y'all. If they said it affected them that they could not be who they was or wanted to be, what the heck you think it's doing to the rest of us that you finna tell us we not who we are and who we have been? Something wrong there. I want to see the women that's on here. Because the men can't help us if we don't help ourselves. I want to see the women on here that's proud of who you are. I see y'all like to do feathers up, but I want y'all to do something better. Type in, I love myself. Let me see some I love myself. Because if we let people tell us we not who we are to make us feel inferior about who we are, I like that one. I am who I am. Okay, like that. For us to have a power, we gotta be powerful by knowing who we are and standing for who we are and loving who we are. I don't care what come up against Chief Warhorse, I still love Chief Warhorse. That's what make me fight so hard. We sitting here in these churches, the preacher telling you about going to heaven and he ain't seeing if your family being fed. The preacher sitting there with women in the church and somebody finna take their identity and take their gender and they ain't standing up with them. Come on, preachers, come join me. Come on out. Calling you out. I'm calling them out. Come on, leaders. I don't care if you're a professor, preacher, teacher, politician, community leader. I'm calling y'all. Ain't no need worrying about Juneteenth, Martin Luther King holiday, or nothing that someone else done stood up and fought for, and all you do is sit down and benefit if you ain't willing to stand up when there's something going on yourself. Come on now. See, I'm a powerful woman. I'm proud of it. I don't have to be a man to be powerful. I'm a powerful woman. You know why I'm a powerful woman? Because I'm not going to let them keep me ignorant. I'm not going to sit here and see the game they play and don't speak out. People mumbling and grumbling in their houses. That doesn't make a change. You know you don't like it, stand up. Be counted. If you haven't signed that petition, sign that petition. Now we got to get another petition to stay who we are. Because you're not going to be able to say about sexism, that law going to be gone. Everybody talking about Roe versus Wade. Sexism is going to be gone. You're not going to be able to say you wasn't hired because you was a woman. Because the white man came through the back door and stole your gender. Hijacked. Come on now. I ain't even touch on what they're going to do to the men. And a black man know he already in trouble. And you going to let them pass these kind of laws and you think that's in your favor? I bet you they ain't took no black man and made him the woman of the country. What black man they put up there? Come on now. That was a rich white man. And everybody crying on TV on what he did. They needed to cry. If y'all haven't seen that video, I'm going to put it on the things. I have it dropped in my Cooking with Cheap page. I know things have access to it. All right, Mr. Waldo, can you go over there, one of y'all, and take that video with Harry Belafonte and throw it in this link for me while we're here?
Yeah.
Where Harry Belafonte was explaining what happened with Martin Luther King and how he felt just a night before he was killed. Or as he said, murdered. You with me, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
They want to tell us about Martin Luther King had a dream, and they want to tell us about Martin Luther King with peace, love, and all of this stuff. But tell us what he said. See, they forget to tell us. See, one time he was preaching about he had been to the mountaintop and he seen the promised land. And he had preached about he had a dream. But why they don't tell us about when he said it was a nightmare? He woke up to a nightmare. Why we don't hear about Harry Belafonte? And I'm not saying it's because he just passed. And yes, I did know Harry Belafonte. So I'm not name dropping. And we talked about these things more than one time, more than 6 times. So I knew how they really felt. I was just honored when I discovered this video the other night. I don't know how I missed it. And it was something I had been telling the people around here that he said. And Noreen and them was with me tonight at the last time me and him spent some time together. And we sit there and talk. And he told me, keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to bring my book the next time where he autographed inside of a book of his life story. And he tells me, Chief, you got to lead us this time. That's what Harry Belafonte told me, lead the fight this time. How many of y'all have another leader told lead the fight this time that it done led some major fights? You talk about people I done sit down and talk to in my time. And he said we was going in the wrong direction, Martin Luther King said before he was murdered. We were going in the wrong direction. Harry Belafonte said, this is not what I was investing my money to go down this wrong road. He told me that. We're not even on the road, he said. He said some kind of way the road move or the people move, but we got to get it back in line. This is what we talked about. Everybody using the civil rights for everything except the Negro people who suffered in America. It done been used for everybody. It's time for it to be used for us now. He said he think we integrated into a burning house, a burning building. He said he guessed he was going to be a fireman to help put the fire out.
I could play the audio if you like, Chief.
Can you do that for me, please? Phoenix says she's gonna play the audio, because this is important. We gotta get back on the right track, y'all. The train derailed. It got hijacked. Phoenix is gonna play the audio.
Okay. Here it is.
While she's doing
Harry
it,
Belafonte,
this is in the presence of
thank you for a lifetime of commitment and struggle. And it's, there is no one who has traveled as far
Yes.
in terms of being there for the people, not just in these great United States, but throughout the continent of Africa, Asia, Europe, throughout the Caribbean, and has never backed away from controversy. A man who is the 21st century's example of the great Frederick Douglass, who speaks truth to power. And you should know that we not only appreciate it, but we respect what you do and what you stand for, unbought, unbossed, and unbowed. That is unique in America today. Thank you. Mr. Belafonte, having traveled, you've been down to Louisiana, we've seen you, having addressed some of these issues. What do you want to appeal to this audience to do, and to America watching this? What do we need to do to make sure that the issues that we have witnessed over the last month are not allowed to disappear? What's our charge from you?
You know, the last thing Dr. King said to me before he was murdered was in my home when we were sitting planning strategy for the Poor People's Campaign, which was on the horizon of the politics of the day. That's why he went to Memphis. And in the course of that meeting, he seemed distracted and a little underfocused. And when we asked him what was the matter, Martin said, you know, I've been thinking long and hard about our struggle. We worked tenaciously for our rights. And the culmination of all that effort will be reflected in what we've come to call the integration movement. And I sit here deeply concerned that I suspect we're leading our nation on an integration trip that has us integrating into a burning house. I don't think we quite understood how pathetic that remark was. After all, we're in the midst of a very petty moment in our struggle. We were winning on a lot of frontiers. Bull Connor had been confronted. The bus boycotts had worked. Votes were coming. Even Lyndon Baines Johnson had been struck by the spirit and got up and talked about we shall overcome in the Congress. And for Dr. King to have been in this place at a time when we seemed to be making great headway was a moment to pause and reflect. That reflection has taken longer than I had suspected it would, but it has certainly come to reveal itself fully when we look at the condition in which we find not only our world, but in particular, our nation. The wreckage that's taking place down in the Gulf region, the southwest part of the United States, is not the only wreckage that exists. We have a lot of wreckages around this country. And perhaps the most distracting and perhaps the most important wreckage to take a look at is really the wreckage of the Democratic Party.
Now he's sitting there and he had that conversation and he's speaking for about 50, 60 years worth of history that he saw, that he witnessed. And you know, so calling it a prophecy was something that they talked about in the 60s, and that's exactly what's happening now.
And I've seen someone on here talking about Dr. King was a Freemason and all this. Let me explain this to you guys. How many mistakes you making right now? Joining different chat rooms, arguing and bickering with each other. You don't have the right to throw stones when you live in a glass house. Those leaders had less communication, less technology than you have, and brought us this far. They wasn't perfect, neither are us. But if you ain't doing something, you check. If your people wasn't fighting, you can't talk about Martin Luther King, because a lot of people of color had grandparents that was Masons and preachers and deacons and insurance men. And these were the people who benefited. Come on now. Don't pitch the rock at Dr. King. Pitch the rock in your own house. That's your iniquities. Don't get mad because he tried to find a highway to fight in. I'm looking at you all on the internet trying to find the right place to address the situation. You understand, Phoenix? Sometimes we get in the wrong church trying to get some help. Sometimes we get in the wrong organizations. Dr. King was man enough to tell the people before he died they had went down the wrong road. Come on now. But he was not who we trying to make him be, like he was some kind of prophet of the future. And he knew how to make all perfect step and make no wrong step. He was a human being. And we as people of color, we put more curse on people trying to help us than we do for trying to help people to help us even quicker. We our own. We cause our own demise. So don't nobody come on my channel tell me about no Masons. Because a lot of people out there is in fraternities and sororities. You want me to keep on going with the list? But the man said this in front of Obama and Hillary. It was time for us to get out even the Democratic Party. You know, sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes you think you're getting with the right thing and you find out it wasn't right. You ever going down the road, thought you knew where you were going, and you found out you made the wrong turn. Don't just keep going down the wrong road, though, trying to get back on track. And this man tried to say this. Do y'all understand? Stop condemning those who fought and is dead and do what you're supposed to do with your life while you have blood running warm in your veins. And if you ain't doing something, don't talk about nobody. If you ain't signed that petition, you can't talk about King. If you ain't signed that petition, you can't talk about Chief Warhorse. You can't talk about Phoenix. You can't talk about Ishmael. Y'all go over there where he's flying spaceships. Before, I guess it was before the Apollo. You're on the wrong channel. I ain't got time to talk to people going to space in Africa right now. I'm in America. And I'm fighting for my race, my culture, and my gender. Come on now. My name ain't Warhorse for nothing. I know how to lead a battle and I don't mind battling. So if this topic ain't the topic, that means you in the wrong restaurant, baby. Go to Burger King or McDonald's. This 5-star over here for people who want to eat 5-star. Actually, people who want to leave a tip sometime too. The man don't open the restaurant, don't expect you to tip the waitress. Some of y'all be complaining, haven't even hit the like button and haven't dropped $1, didn't join membership and giving me orders, telling me how to let people talk, when to talk. When you pay the cost, you can be the boss. Don't get me started now. You know, you just saw some of my guests on here, they've been trying to tell you. I told you this is my new bullhorn. Don't let me have to blow on you too. Stop talking about people and tearing them down if you ain't trying to build them up. Dr. King didn't do nothing but try to help people, and he died. Trying to help people that don't appreciate it today. And as a civil rights leader, I'm sick and tired of that junk. Everybody want to talk about what civil rights leaders sold them out. Yes, we had some bad civil rights leaders, but that wasn't every last one of them. These people were taking money out of their pocket. Go ask your people, check their bank book and see how many of them put money into the fight or did anything. No, they didn't. And if you're getting over here complaining about it, go see how many uncles and grandparents and family members you got that's Masons and in these fraternities and sororities. Then come bark at the door, and I might throw you some bones. But until you can show me something, you can't tell me nothing. I'm sick and tired of people trying to tell us what's going on in this country and they don't know what's going on out their front door. Come on, baby, rock with me. Hide behind the monitors, won't put your real name on the screen, talking smack. Why? Because nobody don't know who you are. You scared you lose something if you put your real name out there? My name is Chief Elwin Warhorse Gillum. You can Google me. I live in St. Tammany Parish. I am a St. Tammany Parish Native American of the Florida Territory, West Florida Territory. Tell me who you are. Come out from behind them fake names on there. Why your name gotta be Mighty Clouds and Running Stars and Jumping Moon? Because nobody can tell who you are and you're just talking smack. Because you don't want to tell what you have to say and then walk in the store and face the price. A real leader walk the walk and talk the talk. And it's not a real face. So when you come back with real names, asking me some questions, and you done did your work and showed me your path where you've been working, you got a right to ask me some questions. Until you done put up, just shut up. But I'm not going to let you tear down civil rights leaders, and I have been one. And nobody was paying for it. It's easy to just get you a computer in the last 20 years and sit here and run a report card on people you don't know nothing about. Then y'all get in these chat rooms bickering over if you go to Africa, if you're Moor, if you're Israel, Hebrew Israelite, or if you this and if you that. See, we ain't doing that over here, so you go back over there. Over here, we about taking care of our business. Moving forward. Healing this sick country. And I'm not only talking about all white men or all white people. But just so happened the white man put himself in position to have held the control of the United States from the founding time to now. Y'all understand? It's not enough women. If they all get together of all races, they cannot beat out the white man in power because they control it from the bottom to the top. So that's why I have to say white man. But then the white man found out, okay, everything been put on the minority and this ethnic group and that ethnic group, and they thought about, oh, heck, I got to figure out how to get in there. So now he's a minority. And that representative, whatever his name is, he says, and when I get ready, I can go back to where I started. Meaning he can go back to be a man. But he didn't benefit off affirmative action. What happened is the white man had his wife making all the money off affirmative action. He would use her to write up the programs and say this was a woman-owned business, his wife or his daughter or his mother. And then they would put in for the minority grants that should have been coming to us after the civil rights movement. But it went to white women. Okay, so they got the benefit of affirmative action. That was what Harry Belafonte and I had talked about. I told you all, I asked these civil rights leaders, what happened? So I'm telling you, I'm still here alive. The white women got the funding off affirmative action, and people like Clarence Thomas, who don't want to deal with affirmative action, went to college off affirmative action, got his job through the bushes off affirmative action. They only got him in position in the Supreme Court because he was the black man that they wanted to put there in place. Hijacked. So I'm speaking up because we don't have anyone to represent us. Come on now. When you get a good leader, you won't stick with them. You want messy, no good, crazy talking people trying to tell you to go to space and go walk on Mars or something. I'm fighting to stay on my land. I don't have no land on Mars. I ain't waiting on no spaceship. Come on now. So they turn you against your civil rights leaders, but other people take what they fought for and use it and go higher. The Hispanics, they use the civil rights bill, they are protected. All the immigrants coming in using the civil rights bill, they are protected. Who's not protected by the civil rights bill is people of color who was originally on these soils at the time of the civil rights movement. That's who's not being protected. But what they do have you doing is on this internet arguing over stupid things, being distracted while you're being hijacked. You're getting older every day. Don't waste no time. If you're reading a book and it ain't showing you how to advance, put that book down. If you're watching something on TV and it's not showing you how to advance, leave that alone. What cost us is, after the civil rights movement, black folks went into a stagnated position of thinking that everything should have been given to them. Because they thought winning the bill mean they was gonna stand right by the bill. We didn't protect the bill. We didn't protect our rights as a group together because people began to split up. I said what the white man did, but what did we do as a unit of people? How can other people come across those oceans, buy up the stores in our community, and we buy goods with them? They're prejudiced against us. But if a person of color open up that store, you're going to do just what you're doing on here with Martin Luther King, trying to tear him down. Talk to me. What do y'all want from a leader? Some kind of magic, make it go away, make you forget it happened? That's not going to happen. Someone put on my page, I'm a prime example of a person that work hard and still don't get none. I'm going to sort of agree with you, but I do have something I want you to know. I have pride and I stood up. I have pride in the respect that they have for me in my parish. I have pride that I didn't sell anyone out. I have pride that I didn't take no bribe. I have pride that I'm still living 63 years old, still fighting, and I feel very healthy, guys. So I do have something. I just didn't sell nobody out. Phoenix, when you hear what Harry Belafonte is saying, and I keep saying we got to register to vote, but not Democrat nor Republican. There's Harry Belafonte saying Dr. King saw a problem before he was murdered. Why that message not being played on King Holiday? You heard me, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am. It
That's
should
it.
be played. It should be played. I'm sure there's more footage of other people saying the same thing or very similar. Dick Gregory was very fond of Martin Luther King as well. And he's always stood on the same principles as well about what's fair and what we need to know and how damaging what we didn't know was to us, how detrimental it was. A lot of respect for Dick Gregory.
As a woman out there, and you're a leader, and I respect you as a leader, don't you feel it's time we stop having to keep defending ourselves as women?
Yes, ma'am.
Ishmael, Mr. Waldo, I'm gonna ask y'all if Phoenix get them to join us on. I want some men to come on since I've been talking as a woman. I want Ishmael and Mr. Waldo to come on stage with us.
Okay, I'll send a link.
That's two men that's out there on the internet all the time defending the women. I want to welcome on stage. Guys, we got a serious problem up ahead of us. And we have some unfinished business. And it's not about fighting over creating tribes and when we're gonna get out. How you can get your land back when you can't keep your daggone sex, race, or culture? Come on now, please. You won't stand up for that. How you gonna stand up to get the land back from America? Stop talking stupid. That's just dumb and stupid. You're taking stuff from right under your feet and you up there saying, yep, that's the way it's supposed to be. Let's do it. Oh, you can't say nothing because they'll sue you. You got preachers scared to speak out. You got so-called elected officials scared to speak out. See, that's why I never got caught in the clique, so I can be free to speak. And I got sense enough to know I got freedom of speech and I don't have to shut up because they passed a law in Congress. Do y'all in the studio understand that? That's just you mentally accepting that. You have freedom of speech. They so far have not taken through Congress and removed freedom of speech. So you have the freedom to speak out against that which is hurting you. If you drop something on your foot and it hurt, don't you supposed to say something? Ouch, ooch, something. Mr. Waldo, welcome on stage. I know we have you as a man supporting us women out here on the internet. And we got the men that's not on the internet that's supporting us in the communities. Like my husband, Mr. Waldo, do you see they trying to make us a triple endangered species? We women are be a triple endangered species real soon.
Well, hello, Chief. And yeah, I see that, and I'm not pleased with it at all. I happen to like women, and I like
Thank
real
you.
women, not these fake women they got going around here nowadays. I got a problem with that, a real problem with that.
And then they
And
want to
I
act
don't
like
know.
they took their identity. They took your identity just like they just took your gender.
Hmm, yeah, but ain't it funny how you can claim to be everything but an Indian?
Well, you got to go through um, Act of Congress,
Hmm.
Executive Order, the BIA, or you
Well,
go litigation through the Supreme Court. But to be a woman, you
I
just
ain't,
wake up in the morning and say you're a woman.
I ain't, I ain't finna never accept no man in a dress as being no woman. I don't care what nobody say.
If
That has
they
never
want to live
fly
their
with
life,
me.
let them live it. But their life should not affect ours.
Say it again.
Their life should not affect ours. These people trying to change paperwork. They're trying to change birth certificates. They just done went crazy with this junk. Okay?
I
And
don't
this
think
is
they
the way
through
they
yet.
changed. This is the way they changed how an Indian look like us is not an Indian anymore. This a repeat.
Like I
And then
don't think they through. I just don't know which direction they gonna go after this. What they gonna be when they can't be a man and a woman?
they have 6 choices on the applications in New York. They passed a law in 2019 that allows them to change their sex on the birth certificate also.
Wait a minute. Six?
Yes, there are 6 different boxes you can check. I had to ask what a cis female was. I couldn't tell. There's no male and female. It's all these different names: binary, non-binary, trans, queer.
Oh,
Uh,
Lord.
a cis male and female is a male or woman that identifies as the sex they were born as. Why we
That
didn't
is that,
in front of that is me.
that is completely insane. What does cis mean anyway? Who made up that 3 letter word?
Those same white men that control the pen, that control the law, that can vote it in.
Man, okay. You know, I'm an old guy. When I grew up, you had men, you had women, you had girls, you had boys. Then nobody had no cyst on nothing. A cyst was a growth that you had to get lanced off.
Thank you, sir. And I don't appreciate being a cis.
Okay, now are they trying to say that these men and these women that are heterosexual or something that needs to be lanced off? What are
I
they really
think so,
saying when
Mr.
they use
Waldo.
that word?
Well,
What
they
are they
wrote
use?
this
What?
new law and gave us no, they wrote these new laws giving us no boundaries, no guidelines, no anything. They just was able to make us who they want to make us. And we got freedom of speech in America, and we don't have to lay down and let them tell us we gotta stay quiet while you alter the only thing we ever known for 63 years for me and for you in your 60s. We supposed to accept this?
No, no. Ain't nowhere in the world you gonna convince me that these all these made up categories is real things. When I know for a fact that when a baby is born, it comes out of his mother, and it's either a girl or a boy. It's not a cis.
We got people now telling me as a leader, chief, I don't know what to say. That's why I'm talking about this. I've talked to people in some serious positions in the government and people in the communities and children that's in school, and they don't understand this. This is something shoved down our throat. But in 50 years, it'll be a norm, just like it was a norm to take our identity 50 years ago. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And people keep asking what happened. You came over here to eat in my kitchen, and I'm telling you what was served up to you was slop. And I'm trying to give you some real food over here. That's how you lost your identity as an Indian. Your grandparents being threatened. They taking their land, and nobody stood together in a unit strong enough to speak against it. The civil rights movement, I had Spiver here. He told you they thought they was helping people. But every time you fight for something, it doesn't mean you're gonna get it. Someone said that day on the thing. Let me explain this to you. When I was fighting for the Save That Park, that's called Salmon Park. Are y'all with me in the studio? You think I was fighting to save something named Salmon or fighting for something for Boy Scouts? No, I was fighting to save that trading post. But those white people was able to manipulate the system and go behind me after the fight. And Kevin told y'all what he fought for. Y'all heard him on stage, right? To save the trading post. But they were able to go back and name it Salmon Park and Salmon Lodge. And I'm not gonna stop fighting that because it's wrong. We all go out to fight for stuff, guys, and the enemy overtake it and overtake you. And before Dr. King could get back to tell us what he had to tell us, he was murdered. You heard his friend, Harry Belafonte, saying, the man saw the mistake and he was getting ready. I was with Reverend Alexander. He told me they'd been having meetings on how to get this thing back on track. But when Dr. King got killed, it put the nation in a devastated mode. And we ain't never got back on track. That was the reason they killed Jim and Malcolm in the first place, to confuse the issue of our minds. Come on now. Just like you got people on this internet, Mr. Waldo, battling in these rooms over stupid stuff. Black folks, you ain't got no business battling over nothing but the junk they done took from you and still trying to take. And if another person tell me about they gonna get their land back, then they don't know where their land at, their grandma, their grandpa, or nobody else's at. You got something you want your land back. You better identify with who you are now, because your paperwork said you were born one thing, and now they fixing to make you a cis. So what do a cis own in this country?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Where is this gonna tie in anywhere? I just can't see it. This is the craziest concept I've
You
ever had
got
to
about
go through.
some crooked politicians. I said earlier, I don't know if you was on when I said earlier. We got these crooked politicians in Washington. They can't get the budget balanced. They can't come up with no agreement to help with nothing in this country for us. And the only thing they can come up with agreement is taking money from us, sending to other countries, and changing who we are, sex and race. Wow. And we paying them to do this to us.
Yeah, we
Now this
paying them a
got
lot of
us
money.
too. Now, women of color, I got a message for you. The white women been benefiting. They better get up off their butt and work this time. Oh yeah, we smart this
Mm.
time. You're not gonna come with that woman movement and take it over and you got everything and you didn't look back for us. That's what happened in the women's movement. They better get up off their butt this time. Otherwise, they lose the affirmative stuff. You understand, right? They the one got the affirmative jobs and positions and they're the one gonna lose them. It's gonna be no more talking about a woman going to Congress or if it's the first woman leaving from your community because you ain't nothing but a sis.
If I could play this little clip, there's some white women that have some outrage over the same thing.
Go ahead and play it.
So let me just get this straight. In the last few years, a biological male has been named Woman of the Year on several magazine covers. A biological male is referenced as a top-ranking female in our White House. A biological male was named the NCAA Women's Swimmer of the Year. A biological male is making tens of thousands of dollars being the face of womanhood for Nike, for Tampax, for Bud Light, for Kate Spade, and countless other companies. A biological male took home the award for Best Actress at the Golden Globes. Are we really still trying to make the case that feminism supports women when the feminists are completely silent and or cheering on biological men taking over the space of women? Somebody spell this out for. So let me just get this straight. In the last few years.
That's it.
Okay, Sharon, bring in Ishmael. I want to welcome Ishmael Bay to the stage. Welcome, Ishmael.
Good afternoon, Chief. Peace, everybody. How y'all doing this evening? So good to see y'all.
Doing well.
It's so wonderful to be living when you can just go on air whenever you want, and you can have leaders that really care about the people, that's not afraid to talk the facts. And I'm honored to be able to call you guys and pull y'all out here so we can understand this is a serious issue. You just heard the white sister talking. Phoenix and I, as two sisters, been talking about this. Mr. Waldo, you have too. Ishmael, as one of our leaders out here on the internet, and one of our civil rights leaders of today, which is the technology civil rights leaders, okay? You're fighting for human rights and civil rights all the time. I'm watching you. That's all a civil rights leader is, okay? Now, some fight for it for real and some use it for their advantage. And you all on here, I am proud. Y'all fighting day and night. And y'all need to get the exposure that you deserve. But what do you feel, Ishmael, on the behalf of this here genocidal, hijack, reclassification and re-identification game they just played?
Well, within civil rights and within human rights is my human right to defend myself. I reserve the right to defend myself when under attack. And we deserve to be able to defend ourselves also. So someone else cannot impose their viewpoints if it interferes with my right to exist. So we're not saying that we are anti anything, we're reserving the right to be.
Thank you. And we also wanting them to look at what's happening now to see the same thing happen to take our identity in the first place as the original people of this land. This is a repeat.
Absolutely.
I want people to understand we are pretty much in different generations on here. Me and Mr. Waldo is from the same generation. I think Phoenix is the youngest on here. And so we broke this across a little age range here from the 40s to the 60s. Okay? So being Phoenix on the tail end of the 40s and none of us on the tail end of the 60s, I ain't taking that one. I'm just getting to the head toward the middle, you know. I'm 63. But we cover enough years, Ishmael, to see that something being rammed down our throat that wasn't in your lifetime. Phoenix, it wasn't in yours. Mr. Waldo, you know it wasn't in ours. And we got these young kids that they confusing. And if we don't take a stand, it's gonna be, Ishmael, the same way it was with our grandparents, losing their identity, and it was given over to other people. As minimum sometimes as $5 Indians. This is how you get white Indians. This is how you got Asian Indians. Anybody but us. Now it's gonna be any white man or Asian man or whoever man but a woman that was born a woman. And I'm asking you men to join forces with us women, please, and help protect us. That's what the men is for, to protect the women. And we women is here to protect and lead and guide with the children. It's time we unite our communities. And if you heard the white sister, they're uniting theirs. So it's their job to unite their communities, and it's our job to unite ours. So what you think about this dish that we served tonight, Ishmael and Mr. Waldo? As men and Phoenix, I'll let you come in after the two men tell us what they think about what's happening to us right now.
Well, I'm lockstep right alongside you. You're not in this battle by yourself, and we're not going to leave you out on the battlefield by yourself. So, in other words, we want you to know that we're here to support you because you're worthy of that, and we're not going to allow anyone to devalue the woman. We can't allow it, and we will not allow it. You're the most valuable thing that we have as far as our companionship, and that's supposed to be worthy and to be defended.
Appreciate it. Mr. Waldo.
Yes, ma'am.
You and I always
I'm gonna
talk.
say,
You and I always talk about your grandma and my grandma. We said in our era the strongest thing was the women of the community. Okay, so I'm gonna shut up and let you have the mic.
well, you know, the only way to go from death to life is through a woman, and as long as that fact remains, you'll never get me to fall too far away from these women. Like I said, I like women. I don't like the way they trying to treat women. I don't think that men should be going in ladies' bathrooms. I don't think ladies should be going in men's bathrooms. I'm just a little too old for that. Now, if you want to have this fight, you know I'm game for a good fight, even as old as I am. And we can do this whenever you get ready. Because I can't stand by and just watch this happen. And so long, you won't be who you is, and I won't be able to be who I am. And
That's
I'll be
what
damned if I'm not letting them put my son in no dress.
they trying to play with our psychic, man. That ain't fixing to happen. Okay.
No. They,
See,
well,
listen,
see, some kind of way, wait a minute. Some kind of way they got it made up in their mind that we supposed to just lay down and take this nonsense and not say nothing. And
man,
I just
let me
can't,
say
I can't
something.
go with that.
How in the heck a
Hmm?
man doing a tampon commercial making millions of dollars? Come on now.
Thank you. How they got a man on TV talking about 365 days of being a woman? Women are women all the damn time. So where
So
you get 365 days of being a woman? Who are these people trying to fool with this nonsense?
they just hijacked the women's movement with this. The white elected officials just hijacked the women movement. So all of the women that dedicated their time over the years to the women's right and women's movement have all of their work just went in vain. It just got hijacked. Everything keep getting hijacked. The music got hijacked. Now they have hijacked a woman.
Hmm.
And they want us to stay quiet by the legislative laws. And Mr. Waldo, I done told you, my mom got me in trouble when I was a kid. It's just gonna keep getting me in trouble till I learn it. Okay? Uh,
Mine did too.
we have the freedom of speech. I wish people use that. And I wish people use what Harry Belafonte just said. The Democratic Party failed us. Two people were sitting on that stage, one on each side. Hillary was on one side of him, and Obama was on the other side. When he said we need to get us another party. What y'all say out there? Let me see some fire if we need to be getting us another party.
Phoenix got another party.
I
Yes,
want to
sir.
hear the
We
people
don't.
say we want to see
We
this
don't
set
have to.
another
We don't
party.
have to get nothing. We have to utilize what we already have.
Noreen up here flicking a light so I can see she's lighting a cigarette lighter. She's over there. She thinks she at a concert or something, flicking a light. Okay, she's turning on the light.
Leave cornflake
Um,
alone.
we need to do this, and I challenge the women out there, the white sister that was on the thing, that they need to do the same thing. And we need to join forces, but this time we ain't giving you our party. We done made that mistake. We don't have to join
Well,
forces.
that's true.
Each one of us getting a different car heading to Washington, D.C. And we'll see each other when we get there. But this time we ain't getting on the bus with you and you ain't getting on the bus with us because you're going to hijack the fight again. I'm just saying it's time for us women. They had a Million Man March. It's time we women do a million signatures along with our march. What y'all
You
say?
remember? You remember telling me that the white man figured out a way to make himself a minority?
That's what he did. He hijacked it.
Okay. Now he done figured out how to make himself a double minority.
Yep.
With the power to change it back to his original state whenever he feels like it.
And he can marry a woman and have 6 children and be a lesbian along with that.
They've literally made gender disposable and interchangeable.
But why?
For everybody
That's
except
what
people
I.
of
That's
color.
what I. Other than them trying to make themselves something other than who they were, Why would they work so hard to try to convince you? If you are a man and you decide to wear a dress, that's on you. But don't come trying to push that stuff on me and my kids. See, this is where I get the problem at because you're in the school system pushing this stuff through the school system. Chief, you seen them books that they had to take out the
Man,
school
I
system.
told you I had to walk out that meeting. I was a grown woman and embarrassed to hear another woman read the book that the children have in the library. And another thing, how we gonna be letting our children go in the bathroom with all these different people? That's not our culture in America. Now it might be in other countries, but we had the women bathroom and the men bathroom. You can't be sending your little girl in these bathrooms unattended. You can't be sending your sons in these bathrooms unattended. With all these sick people. We had the priests that raped people. The Boy Scouts was raping people. The man down the streets be wanting to rape people. And you gonna tell me we gonna send our children unattended and you can do what you want and say what you want and be what you want and change what you want. Come on.
Mm.
Where did this rule come in at? We got
See, I
nothing
don't.
in Washington.
They got me is when they took it into the school system, and then they start this indoctrination process on our kids before our kids even have an idea that they being indoctrinated.
Why do we want
They
our
don't.
young daughters going in the bathroom where boys still have not gotten a surgery to remove his male
Mm.
parts using the bathroom in the same bathroom with our daughters and granddaughters?
Now, here's a question I want you to
So
think
if you're
about.
gonna live like that, why you gotta push the law to be in the
What,
places where we're at? Okay. Why don't y'all get a unisex bathroom or something? Push for that. But don't fight to come in where I'm at because I don't feel comfortable.
who's making money on this deal?
That man at the top, I told you, that's the white man at the top. Because all them white men at the top
Well,
make
now hold on, because you got people making the puberty blocker pills. You got doctors out here doing these surgeries. You got all these counselors getting paid for counseling these little kids. You got these teachers and these school people that's paid to push this stuff. Now, what's the common denominator in all them people?
Well, this is the first time we really sitting down having this topic. Because the other people out there on the other channels is battling over stupid stuff. So we throwed it on the table and we got this buffet to deal with. Because I was talking about whitewashing. You remember that was part one. Here's part two. All that's whitewashing. All that's genocide and eugenics. So
Now
all
you
that
just hit it.
talking, all this
You
stuff is
just hit it right there. That is a form of genocide and definitely part of the eugenics movement. But these people is making a buttload of money trying to convince your kids to be something that they never were supposed to be.
I agree with the person that was saying take your kids out of these schools if you can. If you can, you're gonna have to. Because you're gonna trust your children. You got teachers that was raping kids. We've been dealing with that. Now we gotta deal with this
Yep.
stupid junk. And then all the teacher gotta say, well, look, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. Or a woman say, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. And then we gotta try to figure that junk out now. On top of all this other stuff.
That's too much stuff to be trying to figure out. Add the reason why we have to get on this internet and have all these
What you
crazy
can do is
conversations is to keep us
organize
from
your
having
community,
a real conversation.
organize your community locally. This is what the civil rights movement was about. Dr. King was only moving around giving speeches because people were calling him to speak. If you raise up and be your own leader, you don't have to worry about Martin Luther King or Mason or Eastern Star or none of that. Stand up in your own leadership role. And if we all end up at the same place at the time the meeting is, you your own leader. Okay? Be your own leader. Just so happen a whole lot of leaders show up at the same place. It's time we write these school board people and stand up against this junk because there's more of us than it is of them. It's just the idea they put you in a political bind by passing a law and making you feel inferior about saying anything or speaking out because you don't want to be alienated or you don't want people to dislike you. But I'm gonna tell you, if you want to get something done, you got to make somebody like you and somebody really gonna dislike you. It's time we organize in our community and start asking these elected officials. Elections is coming around. Where do you stand on this? Because we want to hear it. And you're not fixing to tell me to fight against myself and vote to remove me from being a woman so that a white man take my spot. Because I can say a white
Ain't
man
no way.
man ain't won nail award yet. He ain't got a tampon commercial or none of that. White men getting that. That's money y'all women could have been getting.
Yeah, they don't even have the ability to play their own sports now. See, that was a big part of that civil rights movement. If you remember, that was Title 19. And they were supposed to have programs for women to be able to participate in the sports just like everybody else could. Now they can't even do that.
No, because they
Because
didn't take
just
over.
like they just said, you got women as a man dressed up in a dress as woman of the year. You got a man in the Pentagon directing our military, the ugliest thing on the planet, in a dress.
And look how hard it was for women to fight their way into rankings in the military. Now, what woman,
Yes.
he done took her spot. He could have made them
And
ranks as a man, but a woman sure couldn't make them ranks. Where's the highest
and
woman in the
you
military?
are you are exactly right about that. You are exactly right. And if they got that at the top part of the military, that means they got it all the way through the military. Now, how these things
And
gonna defend us?
we have 174 people on here, so I mean we should have 174 likes. Y'all know what them likes mean. I'm just learning that jump. Get them likes up so we can send a message. Okay?
Well, we gonna have to figure out some kind of way to make our voice heard on this thing too, because these is our kids that's also getting caught up in this mess.
Y'all heard what Mr.
It ain't
Longo say? Okay, y'all
it
send
ain't
some
just
100s if y'all like what this show is talking about. I want to see some hearts and fires and 100s going up because they go check our page. Every time we get off, they on our page. Send them some messages, 100s and likes. Let me see them. Turn the page red.
hmm,
Come on,
craziest
let
nonsense
me
I've
see them.
ever heard in my life.
There you go.
You
Turn the
can
page
never
red.
you would never convince me that a grown man is a woman. I'm sorry. Now, whatever your sexual orientation is, that's up to you. But I don't have to know it. You see what I'm saying? And I
And you
sure don't
got,
need you trying to teach that to my kids. See, this is what kind of gets at me is what they doing to the children. We as people, Chief, me and you, we've been around for a minute. You can't fool us with this nonsense. But you
they
take a
trying to make
4 or 5 year old kid, you
they
take
want
a
to make
4 or 5 year old kid and put them under that stress. They can't deal with that.
That's what I'm talking about. And then they want to
And
make
it's
you
a
feel guilty because you don't want to fall for the trick. They're gonna try to put
well,
a guilt trip on
okay, well, I guess I'm just that man because I'm not falling for the okie dokie like that.
you. Neither
And
am I.
you're not bringing that mess in my house. I don't care.
See,
Me
it's
and my dog gonna
comparing
get you.
that to the black community and the civil rights movement. That was not a part of the civil rights movement. You cannot compare that to me being born with this color skin, being a female, and being discriminated against. You are choosing to say you black. You are choosing to say you a woman. So you need to choose the struggle and the fight that a woman have. But that's not what's happening.
You know, kind of like Phoenix was saying, how many of these white men in dresses calling themselves women today ain't gonna flip around 2 months from now, or if something goes wrong and all of a sudden they men again.
Well, that's what that politician said.
Can
Go
you do
back.
that? Wait a minute, hold on, sister. Can you do that?
No,
Can you change your color from what it is now to another color just
no,
by
that's what
your
the civil
decision?
rights was about because I don't have the choice of the color of my skin.
That's right.
Oh,
But these things got a whole choice. So how can they be covered under something that our people had to fight and die?
that's called selective convenience. Selective convenience.
Now, I got another way to call it, but I'm gonna be nice because we on air. Cause
Selective convenience.
that's some BS,
They
is what it
select what
is.
they want to be, and it's to their convenience. Okay.
That's some BS.
Well, that too. But this what we gotta understand. It starts like this, y'all. Dr. King and them sit down one day and they say, look, we tired of being called in for lynches and we tired of this. So anybody gotta talk about civil rights leaders, now you got a chance to show me that you better than what was. by standing up. That's a challenge. Cause if you just complaining and ain't doing nothing, you part of the problem. So right now we need people that's willing to stand up. We are like 2,000 or so from hitting 10,000 on this channel. Come on in, show us you with us. If you want to take time and you want to support what we're doing, we now have membership. $1 from a person means more than zero from a person. So every dollar can help keep what we're doing going. Okay? And when you stand up on the issue that we finna stand up on, we gonna need some support. But you know what? God got us. And we'll make it if we gotta go in on. And Mr. Waldo, I'll go DoorDash. And that's all it takes maybe to keep the internet going and a few other things. But we're gonna keep this movement going. Okay, guys? I'm not gonna open a door that I'm not willing to stay in. So this is the biggest issue facing us right now. Gender reclassification. We as people did not have a right to vote. It was not put to the vote to the people of the United States. It was decided by President Obama and Biden, President Obama, and then back again to Congress when they saw Roe versus Wade going backwards. They hurry up, the white man did, and went protect this gender change thing. And they took that through Congress. They didn't fight about it. They didn't debate. They didn't go through none of what they're going through to balance that budget. Okay? Just like when they sending money to the other countries, they didn't want to send money to where the people of color was suffering from storms and disasters or none of this. We constantly trying to send money to the Ukraine, and I don't even know nobody in the Ukraine. So we don't get asked to help over there. We get told what we are doing. And it's supposed to be a democracy. And you heard me say it's supposed to be. But we got people suffering in America right now. Ever since the shutdown of COVID, people lost their jobs and don't know how they're going to live. You got people living in tents and in the woods. I see them every day. They didn't used to have a lot of people living in the woods around here, but they're all in the woods and homeless. And these is white folks. These ain't black folks. See, what black folks around here call homeless, and you have to go stay with Aunt Moo and Uncle Joe or grandma or go back home to mama. That's homeless. But I see real homelessness in this area and the people living in the woods. And all of this, we can't fix our country. How are we fixing somebody else's? They're talking about not paying Social Security to people in this country, putting stress on old people that can work for their Social Security. Now they gotta wonder if they're gonna have money to pay their bills, get their medicine, while we sending money to other countries.
Wait a minute, because you brought up Social Security now. Since I was 30 something years old, they've been telling me Social Security finna run out of money. But you're right, they bringing in people over here from the Ukraine and putting them on Social Security.
Sure is. They get our
Now how we running out of money to fund Social Security, and you adding all these thousands and thousands and thousands of people on the Social Security? See, somebody lying in this game. They lying big time.
Mhm.
Where is no, this don't make no sense. None of it.
But they got the people of color fighting over indigenous, or if they're Indian, or if they're Aboriginal, or if they going to space, or if they going to Africa, and whatever.
Mm.
Okay?
Well,
And while
they make them do that so you don't get to have these conversations about stuff that we really need to be having conversations about. Every time you run into one of them crazy ass arguments, it's keeping you from doing something that you really need to do.
well,
That's just a fact.
the race game was developed to keep on the divide and conquer. Okay? So they makes us divide up over stupid stuff, and they conquer us on the other side.
Yep, yep.
So,
Now,
all right,
but
y'all.
now you can't even conquer us based on the sex no more. They done confused the sexes so much that you don't know who you dealing with now.
Well, like I was telling Ishmael just now, people are asking me questions like, well, what bathroom you supposed to go to? You don't know. You go in the wrong bathroom, you done got sued. Y'all getting what I'm saying? Um, People was raised not to do that. And so all of a sudden you done changed the whole format on us and didn't give us the book. We don't have a handbook. Who got the handbook?
I don't want it.
No, but who got it? There
Who?
is
Oh, yeah. Who do? Who
no
do got it?
like the handbook, you got a law and you don't have guidelines or none of this to it that we know nothing about. And we got people sitting around here bickering over stupid stuff. Man, we should have 1 million people or more on this page
Right
defending their
now.
household and their family and their job.
Right now. Hmm. Right now. But you look around and you either they scared or they confused or they don't really care. They can give you 1,001 reasons why they won't have this conversation. And I don't understand it. I guess we come from a wrong generation because this, I could just imagine what my grandmother would say.
Okay, I'm gonna say like this person about them trying to get people to go to another planet. Yeah, that's the same people. They done convinced these folks
Mm,
they came from another planet. Now they want to go to another planet. Only person want this place is the same person that wants your sex, race, and land. And they're gonna give you any game plan that they think you stupid enough to fall for, so you vacate your land. People of color left the South, went to the North, chasing down jobs, left their land in the South. Now they come back from what happened to my grandma land? Fool, you went to the South, I mean the North for too many years. You went to the East, you went to the West, your land was in the South. You left it. They didn't have no land. They moved down here and took your land,
yep,
took your race, and now they finna take your gender.
That's right.
that's crazy. That is plumb crazy. And these people are going for it.
Well, the ministers don't want to talk against it. I heard one on the TV. It was so funny. He's supposed to be so godly and everything. Like, well, we can't say this and we can't say that because we'll lose our connection. Y'all can tell you, if they cut me off this internet, remember I was a civil rights leader on the Bullhorn. All we got to do is organize what state chief gonna be in, and we're gonna keep on rolling. The internet can't stop us because I done spoke to multitudes before the internet. The civil rights movement, all y'all know about it because we was moving around the country. And y'all gotta
We,
understand we can do that again. Okay?
we need a million. We need a million
That's
Indian
right.
march.
I see somebody say modern day birth control. That's what it is.
I
Two it
agree
can't
with
make an act. Okay? That's all I can tell you. So scat cat, you right. That's modern day birth control. Everybody, if anybody, no, I'm gonna put that on my page thing so we can add it to the link, okay, Ishmael? They really need to look at. They talk about eugenics. But at the same time we were battling eugenics, we also was battling what? Y'all don't know what else is being fought on? That's it. Sterilization Act.
It's not birth control, it's population control.
Say it again?
It's not birth control, it's population control.
Correct. Population
Yep,
control.
Sharon is right. Sharon is correct.
And that was, well, we as women got to speak it up because that's what it was about. They put these clinics in, and at first, finished just a little before your time though. They was bringing the young girls to these clinics and telling their parents to bring them there to put them on birth control. That was a form of population control. But we got, if y'all have not read, we got black women on there like, oh, the Roe versus Wade, they hurting the black women. No, go back. They was going on Indian reservations, sterilizing the Indians so they could not produce more kids. Did y'all know that?
Sterilizing full bloods.
Full blood Indians. Y'all hear Sharon back there. Sterilizing full bloods. So that the other
I
people
wish they would.
can.
I wish they would just go back and look at the number of our babies that they've killed since Roe versus Wade got brought into effect.
I
They done
like
killed
that.
over 19 million of us.
While Indian Jazz say we need 1 million Indian march. I like
Yep.
that.
You talking about getting hijacked?
I like that. Well, if the other Indians that took our identity march, they just gonna be a number. As long as the numbers get there, the same, not even in the same color, just get there. They gonna know we tired. I tell you what, they stole our identity. They fixing to lose a lot. Because the same white man that's taking our stuff and to go back and take that Indian stuff because the man said he can self-identify as an Indian. Okay. So all of that can be cut out because the white man can be whatever he want to be. He's Superman. Okay? Just us get caught under the law of what we can and cannot be without going through the white man legislation. And I'm not saying this to radicalize anybody. I want to make that straight. Because I had some people one time talking about I need male soldiers or whatever, or military. No, I don't. I need you to stand up and make your vote count. And I'm with Indian Jazz. Let's have a million Indian march. Because that could go along with that petition. Ain't that's right, Ishmael? Did we lose Ishmael in Phoenix?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I am in full agreement.
We can absolutely do that. I'm here.
I've been calling for a million Indian march for a minute now.
How?
I said, I've been calling for a million Indian march for a minute now. Because until we stand up and actually make our voices heard, ain't nobody going to listen to us. And we keep going round and around with this nonsense.
Okay.
Eventually, we're going to have to stand up.
We need to be in Washington before 2023 is over. Because she know what we talking about. It's election time. We need to shake, rattle, and roll, baby. They need to know we for real. I have been to Washington a lot of times. Matter of fact, we'll put an old show. We're going back into archives, Sharon. I think we'll show you. I went to Washington fighting for our rights, voting rights, because the people of color still voting on a proxy. We done made the Republican, the Democrat, and everybody to give us legal voting rights in America as people of color, and we still don't have it. And you gonna tell me they can bring people from other countries and they have legal rights that we still do not have in this country, and we ain't gonna say nothing? So if you don't say nothing, how that old saying was, nothing from nothing leaves you nothing. That's why I keep telling you, gotta have something if you want to be with me. We better stand up. I'm fighting for Indian rights. I'm fighting to stay a woman and not be a cis. I'm fighting to keep that white man so he don't say he a woman of color.
You remember back in the day? You remember back in the day they used to tell us you got to stand for something or you're gonna fall for everything.
That's what I'm talking about. They say we was having 15. Yep, we was having 15 plus kids. Plus we got people. My grandmother had no, not one, a couple of them on each side. Had 22. What you talking about? 22. But that was to make us not populate. But when you go to the store, you see these white women, they got 6 in the basket, 3 hanging on the basket, and maybe 1 or 2 in their bed. And maybe 4 more running behind them. And when they get to checkout, they the one got the food stamps. We don't have them. Go to Walmart, you'll see. Or you see a bunch of people that can't speak English. They have food stamps. Lots of them. I know people that work at the stores say, before they got to this auto checkout, the cashier to check them out, they say, you'll be surprised, these people they bring into this country, how much they give to them per month versus what they get to people that live in the United States all their life. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Waldo? Give you chicken feed and make you be accountable for it. And these people walking in $1,500 and $2,500 and $3,500 on these cards. Do y'all hear me? A month.
Well, now,
we still
but when you go, wait a minute, because when you bring that up, they give you all kind of grief and blues if you go down there and ask them, hey, can I get a little bit of that? They'll look at you like something's wrong with you and try to figure out 5 different ways to keep you from getting anything. But these other folks walk through the door and they hand it to them.
We need to find out what company gave those tampon commercials and all of that stuff, Phoenix. Connie Johnson, I'm with you. We need to boycott those companies and get the word out like they did the beer company. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to say, they brought down Bud Light.
That's what we need to do, boycott.
And they hurt Target awful bad, too.
Kid Rock put on that first commercial.
Yeah, Target's lost a couple $2 billion, right? What they say?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yes, in a week.
We people
in 1 week.
Billions of dollars in America at all times. And we need to redirect our money. Dr. Lowry used to say we need to teach our dollars some sense. It's not 99 cents in their pocket and 1 cent in ours. Let's talk with our dollars. Dollar got power. I'm with you on
The
that.
whole game needs to be boycotted because all of it is just stuff and nonsense.
I'm
And they
not gonna
want you to
hold
believe.
y'all all night. But this topic, we ain't gonna close it. We're gonna table it tonight. But while we table it, to give you a chance to go back and listen to this tape and call everybody you know or tell everybody on your page. We want to see them come over. Don't just come and we had 100 and some thousand views in less than 5 months. And if they would have just stopped and hit a like, that'd have been 100 and some thousand likes. If they would have subscribed, that'd have been 100 and some thousand subscribed. We had 100 and some thousand views. Okay, 100 close to 120,000. Why don't you like, subscribe? Don't just watch the show. Because you might be in the background with another name, but whatever we fight for can help you too. So you ought to come on and fight with us. Okay? One thing we need to do is if you haven't signed the petition, please sign the petition. If you have a petition going around, it's on my page. I'll let Phoenix and Ishmael tell y'all where whoever's with them, where they can find it, but it is on my page. Please sign the petition. Now we got another thing. We're getting ready to take our Indians to Washington. And we women is going to be the first thing on the top of the list. We got a women's issue in America right now. And anybody want to join the Indians going to Washington? Willing to take in their own transportation zone, meaning we're not giving you our fight this time. Y'all gonna have to come White Women United or something. Okay? And y'all have y'all sign, we have ours. But we're gonna go there and we can go together. And when we get there, we all will be together. But under the civil rights, the women's right, we got hijacked. I fought for that park in St. Tammany, it got hijacked. But I'm back to get it back. Okay? So I want y'all to understand. We gotta be birds of a feather flock together. But just so happens, sometime when you get there, they might have some other birds that eat from the same beach. Okay? So what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to discriminate, but this one time we gotta make ourselves proud. This one time the white women gotta make themselves proud. Don't let us fight the fight and you benefit and don't look back. Because the white women came out there and they benefited from the civil rights and the voting rights bill. And they forgot about us too. You ever hear some of them women when they get up there in these positions, how they talk? They act like they was me and themselves. They forgot they have to have a group of people to help make it way for them to get there. And I don't think Harry Belafonte said what he said to Obama and Hillary Clinton and the rest of this country. I don't think he regretted what he said. He meant, because I knew enough to know he meant what he said. Now, if we didn't take and move on that, which I did, when I talked and me and him had to talk about the party issue, I immediately moved my party. I was registered a Democrat. And when we began to talk about where we see these parties was using us, I even told people when I came home, y'all, we need to change our party. They're not taking us serious. We need our own vote. So I went independent. And I explained to him, I said, well, the reason I was like this because I'm trying to hold down the electoral. He said, the electorals ain't good either. I said, you're right. Because you put them in as a Democrat, and soon they get elected, they was turning Republican. So Harry Belafonte is not gone as long as the internet keeps speeches like this that we make. And I am proud that we can pull him up and play him here tonight in memory of us losing him physically, but not spiritually, and we did not lose him by audio or video. And I hope I do the same as he did. Leave a positive message that those who miss me in my time, when it's time for me to go to the other grounds, they can pull me up and hear me and reference me too. I thank you all. If you have not become a member, please do. If you have not hit the like button, please do. If you have not subscribed, please become a subscriber. And from my understanding, if you ring that little bell, you get the notification, you'll know whenever Chief gonna drop in, because nobody never knows. Right, Mr. Waldo? Chief just drops in.
Nope,
All
you
right,
will never know.
Phoenix, I'm giving you and each one of y'all a chance to say what y'all have to say. I love y'all guys. I love those who are not on the stage with me as well as those who are in this chat room, because this channel would not be a success without all of you guys. And for those who join this room that don't understand our platform, if you hang in for a while, you'll catch on with us and you'll start learning how you eat a crawfish. Wow. You know what I mean? When you go to another place, you gotta learn how they do it in other ways. Mr. Waldo, since you are the older one on here,
The elder.
the elder on the thing, we're gonna let the old people be first, and then we're gonna
Boy,
come back
howdy.
and we're gonna let Phoenix the baby take it on out.
Mm. I'm tell y'all what, man. I'm just gonna say I'm glad y'all here. I hope y'all come back. Hit the like, share, subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's make this game work like we need it to. Peace.
I agree, Mr. Waldo. Please like, share, and subscribe. I want to let you know that just because we say no thank you, it does not mean phobia. It does not mean fear. What it means is that self-preservation is the first law of nature. And what we're trying to say is we have identified the identity theft that's taking place, and we're not going to allow it. And we're here to support our sisters 1000%. I yield the floor, and I want you to all have a good and a safe night. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Ishmael. Love you.
Our solidarity is going to be very important, speaking out against these issues. I look forward to fighting the good fight with you all. Thank you so much, Chief. Thank you, Mr. Waldo and Cousin Ishmael.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm giving back like the older people gave to me, the Reverend Alexanders, the James Orange, the Joseph Ecolari, the Leon Wells, the Ted Quartz, and the list go on. If I missed anyone, the Spiver Gardens, and that list can go on and on. But those leaders reached down and helped me and helped to get strength for me to be able to continue fighting. And this is what I'm trying to do, give back the way it was given to me. So I thank you all for accepting to work with me with this channel so that we can cook these dishes up and serve them to our people so they can have better understanding. Sometimes you need a knife, sometimes you need a fork. Maybe it's just a dish that the simple thing you need to do is just get a spoon. But if you're sitting there trying to figure how to get it, if you have no other choice, use your fingers. Down south, we eat greens with these. Don't wait on the fork, spoon, neither the knife. What I'm saying, don't wait on nobody to feed you. Research. Open them books. Dig into it. Cut it up into pieces. If you don't know the word, you got technology can pronounce it. But don't stop till we get it right. And that man told us we didn't get it right the first time. So I thank God we are here to work on getting it right this time. And I hope I'm in the right generation that we're going to make a change. Peace, love. See y'all next time.
One love, Chief. One love, baby.
One love, one God, one earth,
One people.
one people.